You get out what you put in. Never gonna lose, never gonna win. As long as you're happy, you're always gonna grin. You get out what you put in. You get out what you put in. Never gonna lose, never gonna win. As long as you're happy, you're always gonna grin. You get out what you put in. You get out what you put in. You get out what you put in.
Oh, it's Louise Brogan. Hello.
Hello. I want to be in your opening credits, please.
Oh, well, we'll have to do that. You'll have to say something really profound or something like that. Or
maybe like James Bond. You had a James Bond there.
I had James Bond on as well. Yeah, I only get cool people on my show, Louise. Only get cool people on my show.
If I bring Bruce in, can I be in the opening credits?
that as well as LinkedIn is the other love of your life. Is that right, Louise Brogan?
Correct, Mundo. Yes, outside of my family, obviously, actually.
Yeah, obviously. How many times have you seen Bruce Springsteen live?
I think about 13 times. We're going to see him again in April in Liverpool. Can't wait.
Fantastic. And this is the thing about Bruce Springsteen fans. They are absolutely committed. It's brilliant.
Well, like, why wouldn't you be? It's like a religion.
Well, no, so you hear of people seeing other bands and they'll just see them once or twice or maybe 3 times over a lifetime. When Bruce comes to the UK, people go and see him at every single stadium.
Yes. Well, we had tickets for... So the last time he came, I saw him twice. And this time around, we had tickets for Prague and Liverpool. But there's just so much going on. And the kids have GCSEs and A-levels that my husband was like, maybe we could. And also they were a week apart. So we ended up selling our Prague tickets.
Wow. Incredible. Anyway, we digress. Here we were thinking we were going to chat about LinkedIn, and here we were talking about the boss. And so Louise Brogan, yes. Everybody knows you. You're absolutely amazing. You're an incredible human being. You know so much about LinkedIn, but there may be 1 or 2 people listening who don't know who you are. So come on, give us a little bit of an intro.
I'd say there's quite a lot of people who don't know who I am. So thank you very much, Ash. That's very kind. So I run a LinkedIn content marketing done for you agency and also offer LinkedIn training. So I'm in Northern Ireland. I grew up here in Northern Ireland, and this is where I'm raising my family, and I work with clients from all over the world. So I started my business about 10 years ago, and it was a social media marketing agency, and I did a solopreneur, sorry. I did Facebook and Instagram content for clients. And then I niched down to LinkedIn about 2018, I think. And I have a podcast and a YouTube channel all about LinkedIn. And I just wrote a book.
Raise your visibility on LinkedIn. And that's what we need to do, isn't it?
Yes.
That's what we need to do. I had a chat with a chap a while ago or a few weeks ago. And he was moaning that his content wasn't doing anything. And I had a look at it and I said, well, all you're doing is selling.
Yeah.
You're not showing up, you're selling. And is that one of the biggest mistakes we see people doing on LinkedIn, Louise?
I honestly think it's like a 4-part piece jigsaw puzzle you need to put together. So it's not just one thing that's going to help you on LinkedIn. So the 4 parts actually are getting a really good foundation, which is your personal profile.
Yeah.
And yesterday I did 2 workshops back to back on LinkedIn personal profile. So by the time the second one finished, I was like, oh. But it's the core thing that people, probably the biggest mistake they make is they don't actually fill out their entire profile. And even if they do, if you are in business, having a profile that helps your reader understand how you can help them is more important than here's me and how fabulous and amazing I am. So that's the one big mistake people make.
I love it. You're singing the same song as me. The about section. I've done this and I'm brilliant and I've got that. And yeah, absolutely. Who cares?
Yeah.
absolutely cares? And when you're talking to somebody and they've got this amazing, they think it's an amazing profile because they've done all these amazing things.
Yeah.
And you're sort of like, how do I break that to them? So what do you say?
So actually, we've got a card stuck up in our kitchen, and it's a picture of a man with a Hoover, and it says, Bob finished the hoovering and stood back and waited for his medal. It's like,
yeah,
and who really cares about all these amazing achievements that you have? People want to know how can you help them?
Yeah.
And I actually, how do I tell people this? I'm brutally honest. I'm like, unfortunately, no one cares about you. They just care how you can help them. And people are like, oh, okay. But like, you've got to be real here. I mean, that's the truth of it. People just really want to know how you can help them. So yeah, so that's the first piece. And then the other pieces are obviously, the content, the connections, the community, the networking, and actually creating content that is interesting to other people. It's also
that's the hardest thing, isn't it? Don't you find you show people what to do, but inevitably they come back to you and go, I don't know what to write about. Which is why you're ready for this. I need a drum roll for this. So why I wrote my book. You see that in the background there, just all lit up. Because my book tells people what to write, gives them ideas about what to write, because that's the biggest thing that everyone says to me. What's your take on that?
So this is why you and I are like kind of like the perfect compliment to each other, actually, because you tell people, so you have people who want to know what to write, and you share ideas with them, whereas our clients are people who are like, we don't need to be on LinkedIn, but actually haven't got the time to do it ourselves, so can you do it for us? So we actually do the content for our clients. And I will say here, caveat, we do not log in as anybody else's LinkedIn personal profile.
And why is that, Louise?
It's the number one thing that people comment on my YouTube channel about, and that is, my account is blocked. I'm locked out. My account is frozen. And I always think, and honestly, Ashley, I would say to 95% of those people, it's because they've done something against terms and conditions. It's rarely something that's a glitch on LinkedIn's side. It's usually because they've brought in some third-party software that's not approved. They've spammed their market with messaging. Lots of people asking me for help. I can't say to them, well, what did you do wrong? Because that's not helpful. So I tend to just point them in directions of helplines and stuff. I can't unfreeze anyone's account. That's one massive thing I want to point out, because we are also live on my YouTube channel. I cannot unlock your account because I do not work for LinkedIn. But yeah, so sorry, what was your question, Ashley?
I can't remember now. No, so you said that your caveat is you do not log in and I tell people this. I don't know. And they go, oh, I've got someone doing my content for me. They log in every day and do that. No, they shouldn't be logging in. No. And it's sort of like, yeah, it's like driving up the motorway. In England, it's 70 miles an hour. I don't know what it's like in Northern Ireland. But it's like driving up the motorway.
It's the same rules.
Oh, that's right. But it's like driving up the motorway at 75, 80. And, you risk getting caught, don't you?
Yeah.
You might sort of like think, oh, I'll do 71, but you're still breaking the law. And if the policeman is having a bad day, he's going to pull you over because you're breaking the law. And the same with LinkedIn.
I think, I do get a lot of, and if people are interested in this stuff, you can go look at the videos that I have about this, and you just read the comments underneath to see what issues people have about this. And they'll be desperate. They'll be like, my whole business is based off of my LinkedIn profile, and my account has been blocked, and I have no way back in. And I'm like, I mean, there's really not much you can do about that. You're much better to, try and stick to the rules and keep your account accessible. The other thing that people get locked out for, Ashley, is, I don't know if you've seen this, but they only have one email address on their account, and it's the place they used to work in. So,
I've seen that.
So they've lost access to their account, and they can't log back in because it's like Louise at, I don't know, bt.com. And I don't work at BT anymore. So I can't access the email to get the reset password. So I always say people have at least 2 emails on your account, so that if you do leave your employer, because people set up their accounts and just forget about all this stuff, make sure you have your Yahoo or your Gmail or your Hotmail email on there as well, so you've always got another way back in.
Yeah, that's a great bit of advice. So you actually help people with their content, okay?
Yes.
And that is brilliant, because if you're watching this and you really haven't a clue, and you've read my book and you still don't want to do it yourself.
Yeah.
So explain what you actually do, because we had a little chat beforehand, but it's incredible what you do. So go on, explain.
So I have a framework, because my background's IT and we like acronyms. It's called COPE. So, and with our clients, I've just come off a session with a client. We start with video with all clients, even the ones who are like petrified and let's say I'm not getting on video. I do the video recording with my clients. It's very much hand holding. So COPE stands for Create Once, Publish Everywhere. And
Perfect.
What we do is every month, the client and I will get on a call for 1 hour. And when they sign up to work with us, we flesh out a 6-month content calendar with the clients. We've got the key themes and stuff. If they have team members, then they might suggest a team member who books in for a video session in like month 2 or whatever. And we change it up. So we get on a call. They know what the videos are going to be about. And I basically act as the chief cheerleader, coach, support person, and we'll ask them a question. And then I get off camera and they answer the question. But the reason why it works so well, Ashley, is because they're just talking to me.
Yeah.
And when you see the finished results, you can the person watching that video feels like they're talking to you, because they're talking to one person. Whereas if you record video on your own, that can be a bit hard. You're thinking, right, who all is watching this? But if you're literally having, like, if you ask me a question and I answer it, that's how this video content comes across. So we do the video, and out of that 1 hour, we usually get about 4 or 5 videos. Then the Create Once, Publish Everywhere idea is that you get the videos. You've got standalone videos.
Yep.
You've got a transcript from the video, which you can then repurpose into written posts.
Yep.
You can pull out clips for quotes. We create a carousel post every month for the clients out of this. And we also create a long form article, which I recommend they use as their LinkedIn newsletter. They can also then repurpose it into a blog for their website, embed the videos into the blog. The videos can go on YouTube. Some clients put them on Instagram as well. So out of that 1 hour of your time each month, you've got all your content for the whole month.
Tons of it. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah. And the thing is, because you've booked that hour with that client, they know they've got to show up.
Yes.
And so, yeah, it does get done, because it's dead easy to go, I'll do a video. Did you see my post a few weeks ago where I almost broke my nose?
No, what are you doing?
Right.
You're auditioning for a Jack Reacher novel.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness, you're not a Jack Reacher fan as well, are you? Of
course I am.
Oh my goodness, have you seen the new series?
Yeah, we're in episode 2. Yes, just thinking. Anyway, sorry.
Brilliant. Love Jack Reacher. No, so I had planned to do some videoing on a Friday afternoon. I don't normally work Friday afternoons, and I wanted to get some videos done. So I thought, right, Friday afternoon. Yeah. There's no one around. Normally we go and do something, but there was no one around. I was on my own, so I'd do some video. And I had a gig that evening with my band. So I go out to the car, load it all up with all the kit. And because the car was parked on the drive, I couldn't quite reach the boot lid. So I stood a bit closer to the car, pulled the boot lid down.
Oh, no.
Yes. And oh my God. And so I survived, right? But that was my excuse for not doing video that day, because I had this great big plaster. Luckily, no black eyes. But
well, I have once. Boots are a bit of a danger. I once clunked myself on the head with a boot. Yeah, because we've got a diesel got an electric car as well, but we have an old diesel car. And I remember once it clunked me on the head. It's like, I think I'm going to pass out.
Yeah, absolutely. But we all come up with excuses not to do video. I don't have an excuse because you're going to do it for me, and I've got to show up on Tuesday at 10 o'clock. So you know, there's no excuse, and so it all gets done. And then you chop it all up and do all the stuff for the client. They don't have to do anything else.
Yeah, and then like obviously, well, maybe it's not obvious to people, but we send it all through to the client for approval, of course. And they approve everything. It comes back to us if they have any edits or changes they want to make. And then we schedule it all out. So we schedule it onto, we do company page content and we do personal content. And the software I use is called Cloud Campaign, if anyone wants to check it out. It is not the cheapest, but it allows you to post directly onto a personal profile on LinkedIn without having any logins for that client. So the client can connect into the software, attach their account, and then you can post onto their account for them. So yeah, that's a brilliant piece of kit for us.
Yeah, and this is the thing, when you're a business owner, you've got to have the right bits of kit, haven't you?
Yes,
and so many people forget or don't bother or what have you. And we were talking about kit just before we went live, because one of the when I'm trying to do video, and I haven't got a tripod, I haven't got lights, and I haven't got a decent camera, and you turn around and go, well, actually, you've got a mobile phone, and the mobile phones today are better than all of the cameras that they used to have on the BBC in the day.
Yeah, I've got a cool little thing actually. Just switch across the desk to get this. I have a tin of kit.
A tin?
Yeah, a tin, a full tin. Look, oh my God, tech geek.
Wow. What's all that then?
Let's have a walkthrough. This one. Have you seen these?
Yeah, little rubber mat.
Yeah, so you stick that to the back of your phone.
Yep.
Right, and then your phone can suction onto your laptop. Or to whatever you want. So it means that your phone, so say you have notes on your phone, or I actually found out this from somebody else. When you're doing a piece of work, you can have your phone here videoing you like this here. And that's what people as an Instagram reel set up. So got these, got old spare webcam.
Yep.
It's about, I can't remember much they are, like 30 or 40 pound maybe. I have my Stream Deck. Have you seen this?
So why is it in a box and you're not using it?
Because do you know what? Somebody convinced me to get a Stream Deck, and I did use it enthusiastically for a little while. And then I just wasn't using it, and it was sitting on my desk and annoying me, so I put it in a tin.
Oh, Louise, I've got mine here. If I can unwind it a little bit, it's all stuck in here. But you use yours? I use it all the time. Can you see here?
Yes.
I've got all my
yes, I need to do that.
What are they called? Emojis. I've got all my emojis on there, so I don't have to do that. And obviously, as you just saw, I can control my lights from here as well. So
I know.
Get it out again. It's an incredible bit of kit.
Extra stuff.
Oh, we need those, because there's only 2 ports in our laptops, isn't there?
Yeah. So I've got that. What else have I got in here? Spare earphones. A nail file.
Well, we always need a nail file, because you never know who's looking.
You never know. So that's on the tin, and then what's on the desk is the tripod.
Okay, nice.
Which I absolutely love. I have everyone's like, oh, I didn't realize we're doing a tech setup today. I have this little handy bag.
Okay.
Right. And in my handy bag, I take this out with me to places. I have got another one of these things.
Yep.
Right. For plugging in stuff. And I have my Rode mic.
A Rode mic. Is that one of the lavalier ones?
Yes. It's a lapel one. Yeah. And when I'm doing the phone video on the tripod, that's what I use that for. But also if I'm going into my co-working space and I might need it for like doing a podcast or something, I bought this wee handy pouch, so that just gets fired into my backpack. Then I have this jazzy machine here.
That is very smart. So
I love
if you listen to this on the
reading.
podcast, it isn't really working, but it's a little light.
Oh,
And
sorry, your podcast. Apologies. Yes.
and you can put that wherever you want. But it looks like it's battery operated, so you can take that with you when you're doing outside videos and stuff like that.
It's not battery operated. It's it's rechargeable. So
Yeah.
you charge it. And that was on. So it's called a Relino light. And I'll just put it into the screen so people can see what it looks like, and you can change the lighting.
Yeah, no, absolutely perfect.
So it's absolutely for doing video. And then I have 2 gigantic lights up behind the desk as well. Yes, there's a lot of stuff.
Where's your window in your room?
It is over to the right, but the blinds are closed.
The light coming in, and you've diffused that light with the blind. And
then on the left-hand side, I have actually got a door there. So I have to, sometimes I just turn the laptop to position it so that you can't see the light from the door. However, in winter, the light from the door comes flying in at like between about 2:30 and 3:30, and I am blinded. So it's really, I have to remember to try and block that light in the afternoon if I'm doing a recording with a client or doing a workshop. And that's where my large life-size pop-up Bruce comes in handy, because he blocks the light.
That's what he was doing there. See, there's always a use for Bruce. I love that. I love that. If you're listening and you've got a use for Bruce, put that in the comments. That would be brilliant. So here's my top tip for a tripod. It's a box that there's a bottle of alcohol in there, but elastic band, and I put my microphone there. You don't have to have all this fancy.
You don't have anything fancy, yeah.
And my window is just there, so I don't need huge amounts of lighting.
Yes.
And I think we
best.
overthink it, don't we?
Yeah.
And therefore we don't do anything. Why is video so important to do on LinkedIn, Louise?
Well, interestingly, Ashley, I'm literally writing my talk for Social Media Marketing World this week on this. So I'm all about the data. But so there's a couple of different reasons. LinkedIn are really pushing video. So they have this whole vertical video feed that they are pushing. I don't think, and people have asked me about this, I don't necessarily think that we need to be that overly concerned about that vertical video feed, because at the end of the day, to me, the vertical video feed is trying to attract the 20-somethings who like that kind of content, and they want to get them over to LinkedIn for recruiters. That's the purpose of the video feed. It's an entertainment.
Right. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah.
It's the kind of format or medium that generation really loves, and so it's the same as the games on LinkedIn are for a certain demographic. They're thinking of, how do we get more people to come and check into LinkedIn? So people that certain demographics really like that vertical video content feed. So I'm not overly worried about getting into that vertical video feed. And interestingly, I got 2 of my friends to share their statistics about going into that feed and going viral. One of them had 900,000 views on one video, and I said, "Oh, what did that turn into?" And she did get booked for a couple of strategy sessions on it. But the other person, who is a friend of both of ours, Jeremy Freeman, he had a video go viral in there as well. Not as quite as many views as the other person, but it didn't lead to anything. So, you know, I think showing up consistently with video, and this is why we are full into video with our clients, is people connect with you. They resonate with you. It's human to human connection. In a way that words just aren't quite the same. And I love writing. I'm a writer. I've always written blogs. I love reading books. But when you speak to somebody or they tell you something in a video format, you've got the inflection of their voice, you've got the enthusiasm, you've got the emotion in that. And that's what people really connect with. And I think that's why video is really... it's just a really brilliant tool for using on LinkedIn. And also in the world of AI, and everyone's like, oh, you can do video on AI. But I think, Ashley, I mean, people can tell this is you and me speaking. You know, AI could not be I could not be having this conversation.
No, not at all. Not at all.
You know?
And that's the thing. And I'm glad you brought the AI up, because I could write a post and someone could go, "Oh, that's AI." But there is no way that we can fake this. This is you. This is me. You know, we're interacting. It's real people.
Yeah. One of my examples I was going to use in my talk, and I think I'm going to do it. So the talk's in America. So when I met the king, it was 2 years ago now, and I had photographs of me. So I went to Buckingham Palace for a reception for small business. So it was amazing. And I met King Charles. And I have photos of that. And the last time I shared the photo, I can't remember, it was like a year ago or something. Someone said, "Oh, wow, that's really cool what you did there with AI." And I was like, "Excuse me."
Yeah, absolutely. Because not everybody gets to meet the king. So you must have used AI.
Yeah, you must have made it up.
Yeah.
And so I pointed them to, I have the video pinned to my company page. So when you watch the video, you can see that that's a real interaction. And I think that is the difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, so there's the emotion and the human connection through video, and the, like, you know what it's like, Ashley. You send someone a text message or WhatsApp and you've written it, and they're like, "I can't believe you said that." I'm thinking, "Oh, what did I say? What did I say?" Yeah. Because if you said it, they would know that you were joking or that you didn't mean anything by it, or, you know. So I think, there's something to be said for someone delivering something in their own voice that just beats everything else.
And the other thing, you probably know this, but the brain doesn't differentiate between real life and video. So the brain just associates that we've had this amazing relationship. You know, if I sit there and watch a few of your videos on YouTube, I'm building up this relationship with you. So when I meet you in real life, "Oh, Louise," and you're sort of like, "Sounds as if he knows me." I do, because I've been watching all your videos. Have you heard of a guy called David Attenborough?
Yes.
And that's the thing, you know, when you say that to people and they've got this warm glow about them, because we all love David Attenborough.
Yes.
But how many times have we watched him on TV?
So every night I say hello to Clive when he starts the news at 10 o'clock.
Because he's coming into your living room every single evening. Yeah. But you must get this because you do a few videos.
Yeah.
When people meet you for the first time, like you go into this. We met at Uplift Live, didn't we? And people come up to you and they're very, very friendly, and because they feel like they know you, and you cannot do that with text or photos.
Yes.
As well.
And they call it something. I can't remember what.
Yes, I'm trying to think of it. Is it transferred? Is it transferred something?
It's like social something or other. I can't remember. Maybe someone watching can tell us. But Ashley, the flip side of that is that I don't remember people's. If I say I've met somebody once at an event last year, and then they've been watching my videos for the 12 months since, so they feel like they know me.
Yep.
But I only met them for like 5 minutes, and then most people are fine with that, but some people get really annoyed.
Yeah, well, you can't remember.
And it's so it's really tricky. So you know, and like, also at my age, I'm perimenopausal, so I don't remember names at the best of times anyway. So it leaves you in a real, people get offended, and I'm like, and then I meet so many people. I mean, like, because I do workshops as well. Like I speak on stages and I do workshops, and I meet a lot of people, and I love meeting people and love networking as well. So I have lots of different circles of friends, which I absolutely love. But then I'm always trying to like glance down and think, I know that person, what's their name? And then trying to glance down at their name badge without them noticing that I'm doing it. And it can be, and you don't be caught out. So I think everybody should just go around and say, "Hi, I'm Louise. I think we met at blah, blah, blah." So then we're not in that tricky situation.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, most people are like, oh, you probably don't remember me.
Yeah.
And that's really nice. But some people get really annoyed.
Well, that's because you do such a lot. You do your lives, and you've got this little YouTube channel, haven't you?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Come on, tell us about that. I've heard you talk about how your kids think you're so cool because you're a YouTuber. So
they don't think I'm cool.
Oh, right, okay.
My friend's son, who's in primary school, does.
Oh, fair enough.
No, but I think yes. No, my teenage son, when I got my silver play button, I was like, oh, okay. What are you doing, Mum?
Yeah, brilliant.
So that was pretty cool.
So what do we get a silver play button for, Louise?
So you get a silver play button when you get over 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. So wow. I'm currently at 110,000. And I have lots to say about this, Ashley, if you want to.
I'd love to know. I'd love to know because I'm trying to do more with my YouTube channel.
Yes.
I'm only 109,000 behind you.
So the thing with YouTube is so I started doing it during the pandemic. And it was really kind of because I like learning stuff. I like figuring out things and figuring out how to do things. And friends of mine are YouTubers, and they're like, oh, you should do stuff on your YouTube channel. Because I had an old channel with like a couple of how-to Facebook videos on it from years ago. And so it's 7 years old, my channel, but I didn't do anything with it until 2020, when my friends were like, you should just put videos on there about LinkedIn. And I was like, oh, well, okay, why not? Just give it a whirl and see what happens. And that was 2020. And 2024, when I spoke at TubeFest, I had 10,000 subscribers. So it was brilliant because every time when I decided to take it seriously, I went onto Facebook and said, please, 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 please subscribe. I need to get to 1,000 followers so that I can start building up my channel. And like loads of my friends are like, I remember when you asked us to help you get to 1,000 followers or 1,000 subscribers. Like it wasn't that long ago. And then I started to learn properly how YouTube works, because that's just my personality type, really. I'm a fact finder. So I started like just listening to podcasts, watching people talk about it, reading books, reading blog articles and picking up tips. And I realized that so about 97% of my audience will have come to find the answer to one question on YouTube. And it's not that, so my channel is very much me teaching you how to use LinkedIn. So it's very, people come across it because they've typed in, how do you update your LinkedIn profile? How do you post on LinkedIn is one of my top videos. So it's all about helping people. It started off as a resource. So people would say, Louise, can you work with us? And I'd say, absolutely. And my prices start at $1,500 a month for the content marketing. And I'm very open about that. So it's not for everybody. So I'm like, that's fine. They say, oh, I don't have the budget for that. I'm just starting out or whatever. No problem. Well, I have this entire channel that will teach you everything you need to know about using LinkedIn. Just fill your boots, go and watch it and learn yourself. So that's what the channel started as. And then people started to find me through the channel and connect with me on LinkedIn from quite senior positions within big corporates. And I was like, this is interesting. Didn't expect this. And then people started to then book me for training and workshops because they found my channel. So people in maybe a company of like 30 to 40 staff, and they're like, we need to be on LinkedIn. They've done some searching and Googling, and my videos have popped up, and then they've watched a few and they've liked my style, and they've reached out and said, can you do a workshop for us? So I'm like, oh, this channel is actually worth me spending a bit of effort and time on. So started to pay attention to it. And then in TubeFest last year, it was in Birmingham, and I spoke about how having a small channel, can still drive a lot of revenue. So at that stage, I think we'd had at least 100Ks of work, £100,000 worth of work from people finding me on YouTube. So I'm like, let's do more of this. But at that conference, I learned more about how to actually use like the techie side of YouTube. So even though I was speaking at it, I was on the business track. I was more interested in the guys who were doing, that sounds wrong. I was very interested in doing a very good talk. But I wanted to learn from the guys on the YouTube techie side. And so I did. And I just absorbed everything they said. So I went back and I started thinking, right, who is my audience on YouTube? Who is my core audience? And what are the most popular videos? And it turned out that my core audience were actually people, young men in their 20s, trying to get ahead in their career. So not the small business owner that I work with. So it's like a different audience. So in a way, YouTube is kind of separate from my business, because the agency, yes, people do find me on there and we'll book training and workshops. And we've had at least one retainer client who's come through that, who we do monthly content for. But the majority of people are going because they need to know how to update their profile because they're going for their next job. So I started to focus more on creating content for that audience, and that's when it took off. And I think during July and August, which is so reflective of why people should invest in going to conferences to learn stuff, like July and August, I think, Ashley, I was getting 1,000 subscribers a day.
1,000 subscribers a day?
Yeah.
And it took you how many years to get
it took me
the first 1,000?
Yeah. The first 1,000, I can't remember when I got my first 1,000. It might have taken 2 years.
That's incredible.
It's mad. And then I hit 100,000 in November. So I got my silver play button in time for Christmas.
Nice.
Then I changed my approach to it again, which is why I'm not getting 1,000 a day at the minute. And it's kind of like, I wouldn't say I know how to turn the tap on. I'm not saying that, but I know the kind of content that'll start to increase the subscribers. But once I got the silver play button, I'm like, right, that's what I wanted. That was my goal, was to get that, hit the 100,000, get over 100,000, people starting to take me more seriously as a YouTuber. Well, other people, I still don't really take myself seriously as a YouTuber. Did a workshop recently on how to use YouTube for small business. And I said in the workshop, so I'm not an expert on YouTube. And they all started to laugh and go, well, we think you are.
Yeah, absolutely. Isn't it funny?
It is funny. But I don't put myself in that category. But what I've started to do now is do more content aimed at my ideal clients. And there's less of those. I mean, there's less people out in the world who want to market their small business than there are people in jobs who want to get the next job that they're applying for. So it's slowed down, but it's still ticking up. But I get a lot less views on these, a lot less views on how to amplify how to look at your analytics on your LinkedIn company page than I do for my top video, which is, I'm trying to remember how many views it's got, like 140,000 views, I think. And that's on how to upload your resume to LinkedIn.
Nice.
So anyway, that's it. My brief, not very brief history of YouTube.
But again, it's proving that video is the way forward.
Yeah.
And so how do we explain to somebody that, oh, I can't go on camera? How do we get them to go on camera, Louise?
I think you have to hold somebody's hand. Really. So I started my business in 2013, and I probably didn't do video for a while. I did do Facebook live. I actually couldn't tell you actually when I started to do video, but I thought to myself, I need to do this.
Were you worried when you first started?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. Good.
Yeah,
good.
Of course.
Because everyone sees, people like yourself up on stage.
Oh, terrifying.
Yeah,
terrifying
absolutely.
when you start out.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Who's watching me? What are they going to say? What are they going to say about what I'm wearing? Crazy things that I'm not even going to share. The crazy things that go on in your head. And I just thought, like I do with everything in life, Ashley, I just think, okay, what could actually happen here?
Yeah, absolutely.
I put a video up online. What can actually happen? Is somebody going to come through the computer screen and grab me around the neck?
Slap your face.
Right? Like genuinely. And what if so I did, this is another funny story. I can't remember when this was either. It's definitely pre-pandemic. It's probably about 2018. I was, you know how we find people online who teach stuff and we follow them, and then we outgrow them and we move on to the next teacher, consultant, or whatever. And I followed this person who talked about getting into the media, as if I've been in Forbes, I've been in The Guardian, I've been in The Times, I've been in loads of different publications. It does not move your business forward one iota.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like I've been featured in Forbes twice. Did I get any clients from that? No.
Wow. Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah. It's nice. It's nice to have, and other people are like really impressed by it. But what gets clients is showing up, sharing content that helps people make sense and that you are helping them move forward. That's what helps you, not being featured in Forbes or whatever, Anyway, so I was in the Daily Mail. And it was bonkers. So I am a Guardian reader. Like I am a card carrying, I don't know, liberal lefty Guardian reader. I read The Guardian cover to cover every Saturday. I love it. And to be in the Daily Mail, I'm like, not really sure about this. So anyone who's outside the UK, it's kind of like, how would you describe it, Ashley? It's kind of like people call it the Daily Whale, don't they?
Yeah, it's easy to read. It's like Hello Magazine, isn't it, really?
Yeah, it's not.
But in black and white. Yeah.
It doesn't really align with my worldview. So anyway, so what happened was they sent me a hairdresser, a makeup artist. They sent me a dress to wear, and a photographer. It was bonkers.
Wow.
For this article. So Ashley, what do you think the article was about? I haven't talked about this in a long time.
I'm gonna say LinkedIn and small business, growing your small business and visibility.
No. And this is why I think at this stage I was like, this is not really serving my business. I'm going to move on from this. It was about how, and it was, I think I was 40, it was a long time ago. I was 42, I think 43. It was because it was an article about women who don't have any gray hair.
Seriously?
I was told, this.
That totally sums up the Daily Mail, doesn't it?
Yeah. And it was like, how to raise your visibility by any means. I'm like, no, this is not. And after that, I was like, I'm not pitching for any more of these newspaper articles. This is absolute nonsense. But anyway, so what I wanted to say about that was the best tip I had about that was do not read the comments. So I never did. I never read one comment under the article because I knew they'd be brutal. And that was the last time I did anything really stupid like that. So people, you putting a video up, sharing your knowledge and expertise on LinkedIn, if someone's going to say something, they're not going to be horrible about that on LinkedIn.
Not on LinkedIn. No, people are just lovely. How many? I don't know what you call them, trolls, have you had on LinkedIn?
None.
Yeah, I can't think of any either.
I've had a few negative comments on YouTube, but then I've got 2.7 million views now, so that's not surprising.
Yeah, sure.
But even then, I could probably count them on one hand.
Yeah, that's the thing. Talking of YouTube, you're streaming to YouTube. We have got Ali Author and Luke Westwood watching. So hi guys, thanks for coming in and saying hello. If you've got any questions, we've got a few minutes left. You haven't told us about your book. Why did you write your book? What is it? What is it about, and why should we buy it, Louise?
Ashley, I probably should have put that Daily Mail story into the book, because the book is called How to Raise Your Visibility on LinkedIn. And it's really how to raise your visibility.
That's how not, though, isn't it?
Well, no, but that's what I mean. Like, you can raise your visibility online, but without a strategy or direction behind it, what's the point? So this is about, let me read you the quote at the bottom. Invaluable to anyone who recognizes the need to build their personal brand in today's noisy business environment. So, I mean, that is really what it's about. A personal practical book which keeps you focused on what really moves the needle for LinkedIn users. So I talk about how to use LinkedIn in a way that the whole goal of the book is to make it easy for people.
Yeah.
To make it accessible to people. And people who, there are so many people that I know who are amazing experts in their field, so knowledgeable, and they, for whatever reason, maybe they have a fear of not really knowing how LinkedIn works, so they never really put anything on there. They might not know the strategic reason why they should be posting content. A lot of people don't know how, like you talked about it earlier, how do you actually post stuff on LinkedIn that starts conversations and gets the right people engaged with your content. When we talked earlier about the 4 different pillars of LinkedIn, one of my key things is talking about building a network of value. And I talk about that a lot in the book, you know, connecting with people, building relationships with people who you're interested in what they have to say, they're interested in what you have to say. They might refer you business. They might mention you to somebody that you didn't even know would be interested in your products and services. But it's about building relationships with people. And it was a labor of love to get this book out, Ashley. I mean, you got published way before me, but I'm delighted that I got it done.
Yeah, no, it's a great achievement. So well done. A lovely looking book. Are we getting an audio book?
Apparently, yes.
Good
but before we do audio, I want to do it in Spanish. Have to figure that out.
You're going to talk in Spanish, or you're going to write it in Spanish?
No, I want to get it translated into Spanish.
All right, okay.
I've already had an invitation to hopefully do an event in Spain with my book. So I'm having multiple little book events internationally.
Fantastic. So where's the nearest one to us then? How can we come and see you and get a signed copy of your book? Because we've seen a few posts online of you signing your book.
Yes, so I'd love a lovely Belfast one last week. I will be in London next week, and that's to be confirmed. Next Friday, then I'll be in San Diego in America at the end of March. And then we're going to do a Dublin event, and I want to do one up in the northwest of Ireland as well. So I'm just organising those. But yeah, anyone who wants to have me along to talk about how to use LinkedIn. So actually, Ashley, I don't know if you're doing this, but I delivered a workshop for a group in Virginia in the US last night, and as part of the planning, they all got a copy of my book. So
nice.
It's a really nice little extra to give people who want to work with you. So yeah, I'm delighted to have it.
Fantastic. Louise, you are an absolute superstar. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing all your amazing knowledge. It's been amazing. Thank you very much indeed. I've got a couple of questions that have come to me recently from people using LinkedIn. And that is tag walls. You know when someone, I went to this event and I met Sally and Louise and Fred and Jim, and they tag them all. And I turn around and I say, you shouldn't be doing that because it really harms your reach. Could you put a little bit of meat on the bones, please, for that one?
So this is interesting because sometimes I think people are focused on too much about how many people are seeing my post.
Yeah.
Right. Last week, I did my book launch in Belfast, and all these amazing people came along and showed up, and they're in the photographs, and I wanted to thank them publicly for coming, so I tagged them all. And if that limited the reach of the post, who cares, Ashley? There's more things important in life than that. What I don't like is when you see a post and at the bottom, there's literally like 30 names at the bottom. I don't like that. I do think an easier way to do that is if you are at an event and you are with people and you're taking photographs with people, to tag the people in the photograph. I think that's fine. But I think there's too many people are hung up on views of their posts. I think there's do what feels right for you. If you're at an event and when you go to I'm assuming you're going to Uplift Live again this year. Yeah. And I'll not be there, unfortunately, because I'll be on a flight. So I'm a bit gutted to miss it. But, you'll be there, Ashley, taking pictures with people, being your lovely, friendly self. Get those people up in your post and tag them. You know,
absolutely.
And don't overthink it.
Luke said he's been watching you for ages, so and he says you're great. So yeah, I
thank you, Luke.
Totally agree, Luke. Louise, one last parting word. What should we be doing to raise our visibility
from me?
Online? Yeah, from you. From you.
Well, obviously, Ashley, they need to get a copy of my book.
Well, we know that.
I'll take all the lessons from it. I think that the number one, because a lot of people are still like, ooh, what do I post? Well, okay, don't overthink this. Start by commenting on other people's posts and go from there. Once you start to comment and have I don't mean just like saying well done or good luck. I mean, literally read the post. If it's interesting to you, write a comment underneath that kind of takes that into a conversation. And once you start doing that, you start to enjoy using the platform, and then you're more likely to come back and do it again. That's what I think.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you very much, Louise. You've been absolutely star. Where can we get your book?
Oh, yes. It's available online on Amazon. And if they go to my website, because it's in different countries, you can't actually link to the same link. So you go to louisebrogan.com/book, and that will take you to whatever country you're in for getting a copy of it online.
Fantastic. Louise, thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you again very soon. And good luck with your book. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ashley. Thanks for inviting me.
Cheerio. Bye-bye.
You get out what you put in. Never gonna lose, never gonna